Body type. The ideal male body type. Ooh. What is the preference throughout all of history? Now let's take a look at it.
Masculine beauty.
This was the world's most perfectly developed man in 1922.
Ooh.
Today, it's called a dad bod. Over time, the idolized physique has changed, from bulky to fit, gangly to dumpy.
That is true. There's a lot of like social structures and weird things that gone on. I get the reason of being fat because it was looked as prestigious that you had money to be fat, like you had the money to eat a lot. But like it's interesting to the shift of interest between like how we view what is a perfectly fit body to what is kind of like required to, you need to take so many drugs and work out so much to even achieve it. It's wild.
To an enhanced. If we can make sense of some of the most bizarre trends throughout history, we can make predictions for the future and come closer to understanding what the ideal male body really means.
The power of dad bods is coming back though. I don't think so.
A gleaming chest, bright skin, broad shoulders, tiny tongue, strong buttocks, and a little prick.
Why did they all... I watched a streamer yesterday and he got really mad. He was like talking about these statues of Greek gods and how masculine and big they were. They looked so big. And then he got really pissed and like saying, why the hell are all of these Greek god statues, why do all have small dicks? And I think he has a point on there. I was getting really furious about it.
Was the ideal physique, according to ancient Greeks. This was symbolic of someone more noble and civilized, as opposed to lustful and depraved.
Come on!
Small peepee big brain?
These traits can be seen in the Rhea's bronzes, the Discobolus, and the Laocoon sun statue. Physical strength
They didn't have microplastics. I get it now.
In the words of Socrates, it's a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Probably why Greeks invented the gymnasium, which translates to school for naked exercise. Masculinity was about facing adversity head-on, whether mental or physical. He who's only an athlete is too much a savage. He who's only a scholar is too soft.
Ooh.
The ideal citizen is a scholar athlete, the man of thought and the man of action.
Dude, those bodies are insane.
In the Elizabethan age, intellectual power was more important than upper body strength, as this was associated with the peasants who had to work manual jobs. The upper class would wear angular clothing and raised heels, accentuating the only body part on display, the calves. In high society, men saw strong legs as the height of physical perfection. When he wasn't executing his wives, Henry VIII was posing for frightened painters who portrayed him with massive calves. This look was clearly popular, with Shakespeare deciding to take it further, flashing his quads. As the middle class rose, the wealthiest, who travelled Europe for arts and fashion, became known as the flamboyant macaronis.
Look at them go!
Named after their love for the Italian dish. They would wear feminine clothes, tall hair, and were typically skinnier people. It was a statement of wealth.
Bro, that is a giga one. Holy! Dude, is there that little hat on top? Oh my god, this one is ballin'!
As they didn't need to engage in manual labour. They saw themselves as refined, witty, and socially important, with the Earl of Bristol's nephew reportedly wearing a photo of himself across his chest. But unfortunately, after public ridicule and attacks on hair powder, the trend died out. Inspired by the powerful look of the past, Eugene Sandow built a physique through studying Greek statues.
Hell yeah.
He was regarded as a celebrity and admired as a figure of masculinity, popularizing weightlifting. However, this was still a niche look and more of a circus act. The ideal physique for many was now actually a wide waist and sizable
that's the chieftain right there.
stomach. A look that signaled wealth and social status, as it showed a man could afford lots of food. So
they do look like businessmen though.
Club trend began, in which you had to be over 200 pounds and learn the secret handshake to join. I bought to be good-natured, I can't fight and I can't run, was their motto. A 1904 Boston Globe article described their arrival. The natives, who are mostly bony and angular, have stared with envy. And so
people complain that the man should look masculine like the good old man way. I'm gonna be real with you. There's no real way. In the end of the day, like, men will have their own fixation because of masculinity. Is like, whenever you see a beefy boy as a man, you think that kind of inspires you and you love it. Men's brain are often in the masculinity charm. But like, in the same time, a lot of men like femboys, a lot of women like all kind of structures on the male body: dad bod, fat, skinny, muscular. Everybody has their own preference. But what is society now pushing more on for? It's more pushing on the narrative of steroid usage and like a big, muscly, big boy. But in the end of the day, is that actually the biggest favor of majority of like women? At least in men's view, it's probably the most favored for anyone that is gay. But when it comes to women, I don't think that I don't think even half of percent of women out there are very interested or in muscles in itself and big beefy muscles, because it doesn't align with like softness and other kind of things. There's a lot of reasons to it, but definitely I think nowadays the mainstream view on men are big muscles on steroids and not even like natural builds.
Portly forms and rubicund faces, which have arrived on every train. Clubs popped up in America and France.
Look at that!
Where men stuffed themselves with huge breakfasts.
Nice.
And then headed out for friendly Olympic-style contests,
Ooh.
strength and virility.
Hollywood
However,
icon.
as food became more accessible, fat became less desirable.
That makes sense.
1920s Hollywood largely shaped the male body ideal. It was believed the camera added about 20 pounds to an actor's frame, and many actors did their own stunts, so a slim athletic build became desirable. The Hollywood icon body type was born in this era. Meanwhile, marketers realized that emotion-invoking advertising was highly effective, so they began publishing classics, such as "I Could Never Fall in Love with a Skinny Man," "Don't Be Half Man," and my personal favorite.
I think this has a lot of like implication on men's mentality and view on itself too.
Is a story about a skinny guy with his girlfriend. A muscular man Hadoukens him in the face for being skinny, so he buys Charles Atlas's program.
Weak
hulks up,
man.
only to return to that same beach to knock the guy out. What a man.
I think also these kind of acts and behavior also changes with time. Like, have you noticed, like, I think that if we go back in time, like a big defender, manly, I'll fight you, grr. It doesn't, like, I am angry. Those kind of vibes have kind of died out now. I don't think a lot of like women and even gay men are interested in a man that want to fight everybody, that want to constantly dominating everything. Like, they will probably want to be dominated, but they don't want to be like aggressive. You know what I mean? I think that kind of view has been completely died down. But in the past, you would want to maybe perhaps have more aggressive type, because it would feel like they're defensive, they're protective to the family and stuff like that.
At San Francisco, they found a tribe of strong, silent,
Look at that. Nice.
and almost perfect men.
Muscularity was becoming more
Now we're
popular,
talking.
with better resources and information.
A creme de la creme of masculine beauty.
However, the Hollywood lead was still a lean, muscular, healthy look, the likes of James Dean and Clark Gable. With more people owning televisions, a young Elvis Presley was idolized for his music, his physique, healthy and moderate. And in 1951, the first ever diet and exercise program, healthy and
Bro,
moderate.
what the fuck?
And in 1950,
Look at that. Do even dudes look like this visually, like on the face? Like, this is such a, I don't know what it is with
the first
I don't know what it is with like older pictures of like in the early 1900s and stuff, but like men and women look so more different in the past compared to now. Like, facial structure and like visuals are so different from the past compared to now.
ever diet and exercise program aired.
Good morning. Happy Monday morning to you. My name is Jack LaLanne, and I'm here for one reason and one reason only, to show you how to feel better
Different focus length on camera. Do you think it's the camera? Perhaps.
and look better so you can live longer.
The ideal body type was healthy
Nice.
and athletic. However, with various wars brewing and the rising popularity of competitive sports, there was a massive push for the development of performance enhancements that would change everything. My internet history while making this video became increasingly suspect. To prevent judgment while making this video,
Elvis shirtless, Shakespeare shirtless, Baywatch shirtless men, 1920s shirtless movie scenes, 90s men shirtless, Henry VIII shirtless, shirtless actor 1990s, shirtless actor 1980s. Oh boy.
became increasingly
I think Google will definitely know what to show you, man.
suspect. To prevent judgment while compiling hundreds of photos of shirtless men, I dimmed my screen and made sure I was using
This is
today's
like my
filter,
TikTok feed.
NordVPN. Now, you can use a VPN to change your internet location, so you can watch shows and movies which aren't available in your country. But this never convinced me to sign up. I learned about the true benefits of a VPN the hard way when I was a student. One way or another,
We
someone gained
love
access to my IP
NordVPN
address,
over here.
and
Buy it now.
before steroids would explode in popularity, the Vietnamese War largely divided America.
Hell
which
yeah,
sparked a
brother.
counterculture wave. The slim physique represented a rejection of the previous generation's more traditional masculinity.
You know what's always funny? Do you guys have parents that were hippies? Like, it's always funny to look at those photos of your parents or grandparents that are hippies. Like, because they look so completely different. Nah, my dad was apparently a hippie for a little moment. I don't know what the hell happened because he was like a doctor from like a really young age. But I don't know where he got that in his message. But I remember when I found those photos of him being hippie, I was like, damn, that's some... Dude, I don't even recognize the guy.
I think that a generation of kids which says, we don't care about your concepts of cleanliness is a revolutionary generation.
Instead of strength and conformity, the counterculture embraced ideas of freedom, non-conformity, and natural living. Influenced by movements like hippie culture, anti-war protests, and the rise of rock stars like Mick Jagger, Bob Dylan, David Bowie, and Hendrix. But traditional masculinity was still prominent in Hollywood, with action stars including Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, and Clint Eastwood.
And you see that this is more like a natural build as it goes on, like active, working out, very natural, not really hard to achieve. And you will see that this kind of scale is moves up as we go in time.
You mean you don't admire peace?
It's not really easy to like something you know nothing about.
With a more muscular Steve
Damn.
Reeves, featuring as a Herculean character in many Hollywood films. Meanwhile, Joe Weider took Charles Atlas's advertising to the next level,
That's what I'm talking
featuring
about.
bodybuilding champions
Holy.
to sell fitness products, and he was about to meet an Austrian that would make him a fortune.
The golden era of bodybuilding.
You son of a bitch.
Nice.
Popularized by iconic figures like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, bodybuilding and pumping iron became mainstream, with chemically enhanced physiques perceived as the epitome of masculine perfection. With more people taking performance enhancements, shows like wrestling became more popular, featuring insanely muscular people, with the likes of Hulk Hogan, Brutus Beefcake, The Ultimate Warrior,
No.
Rocky Johnson, and Lex Luger.
You see that these guys are fucking huge.
Warrior, Rocky Johnson.
Isn't this Dwayne Johnson's dad? Like, look at this fucking guy.
And Lex Luger. Other male icons included Chuck Norris,
Chuck
the Batman,
Norris.
and Superman, with Bruce Lee still incredibly popular for his impressive martial arts displays and lean physique.
Legend.
As bodybuilders began chasing more and more mass, its mainstream appeal faded. The effects of steroid abuse became more well known, so the idealized physique became less extreme in comparison to the golden era of bodybuilding.
That photo right there is one of the hottest fucking model photos to this day. Like the other, like it's another one y'all know about, but like these this Mark Wahlberg photo here it's still going around to this day, and people are still replicating it. It's insane.
Hollywood leads included Keanu Reeves, DiCaprio, Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, and perhaps most representative of the idolized male body, Brad Pitt from Fight Club. More attention was focused on the male body in advertising, such as with Mark Wahlberg's campaign with Calvin Klein.
No, the best protection against AIDS is to keep your Calvins on.
The number of male cosmetic procedures
Fuck me.
increased 256% from 1997 to 2001.
I never get
While the
it.
peso-
What don't you get? What is the specific? Is it the visual view on muscles itself, or is it just the male body? I don't know.
population of men's health went from 250,000 in 1990 to more than 1.5 million in 1997, hinting at a new trend. With the rise of social
I saw it. I saw the legend. I saw the WoW legend. There he is. Ziz, pay respect. Ziz, the legend himself.
With the rise of social
Ooh.
media sites,
Yeah, we're
such
getting
as
into
Facebook,
it.
Instagram, and forums, the aesthetic era.
There he is. He is a champion even through his death. Has inspired every majority of the male influencers and workout like guys that are working out and getting into workout and getting into the gym. This guy has influenced so many people, and even to this day is used as an inspiration to get it going.
With more of an emphasis on leanness and proportions as opposed to sheer mass. Championed by the likes of Z's and the aesthetic crew, which spawned a wave of fitness influencers, but this somehow became normal. Gymshark was formed, and they would sponsor the most idolized younger men in the bodybuilding social media industry. For me, this is where my goal moved from Ronaldo to fitness influencers, as I quit the sports I enjoyed to spend more time in the gym. Hollywood included more muscular actors, such as Chris Hemsworth, The Rock, Henry Cavill, Tom Hardy, and Hugh Jackman. Even action figures were being produced with more muscle. There was clearly a demand for increased muscularity. And this shift was further demonstrated with the remake of Baywatch, and films like Twilight, which began portraying more muscular teenagers. Popular influencers began photoshopping their photos to have more extreme proportions so they could stand out on social media. And for some mystical reason, the fitness influencer became synonymous with self-obsessive, dishonest, and narcissistic.
It's a lot of men.
Starting a new trend.
It's the dad bod.
Popularized by celebrity figures such as Chris Pratt, DiCaprio, and Seth Rogen, which many believe represents a more approachable form of masculinity that balances attractiveness with the demands of daily life.
Yeah, and this is the thing why I can understand why some people like I don't get it. I don't get dad bods at all. Like, even if I think about it, I don't understand the appeal in any sort of way. And that's why I can understand why somebody that don't get muscles or find any muscles attractive, why they don't get it either. Because each to their own, everyone has a different kind of tingle in their brain that says this is hot, this is cool, this is awesome, I like this. But for some, it doesn't work the same.
The demands of daily life. Prominent actors such as Zac Efron and The Rock bulked up even more, with Chris Hemsworth achieving his peak physique.
Bro. Like,
reality TV shows such as Love Island featured more muscular physiques. Meanwhile, on social media, influencers were being more open about their performance-enhancing drug use.
And like everybody, it's good to be open about it. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to get more people into using it. There's a lot of people also lying about using it.
Not unusual for teenagers to share their steroid cycles, with performance enhancements such as SARMs and testosterone more accessible than ever before. Yet, many Hollywood lead actors still displayed fit, widely achievable body types, from more androgynous builds to athletic. And it became a lot more apparent what a lot of people meant when they were referring to a dad bod.
Can you rate this guy's physique to me then?
I can't see it.
When many
What? Wait, she called this a dad bod? That is are you insane? Bro, it's just muscles. Are you blind?
When many people think of dad bods, they're referring to a bodybuilder in the off season, or
that is insane. So little bit of fat is a dad bod now. Oh my god.
James Bond.
I think the dad bod's very attractive in my opinion.
Is this what you mean by dad bod?
Immediately, no. Yeah, no. No, see, I like that.
That is a dad bod to them. That ain't. Oh my god. Bro, we're cooked.
Not a dad bod.
That's not, I think it's a dad bod.
Even the world's most perfectly developed man from the early 20th century would be mocked if he had an Instagram. Adonis himself would not be fit to play most superheroes, and Arnold too fat to win Mr. Olympia today.
Male body dysmorphia is on track to overtake female body dysmorphia within the next few decades.
These shifts are ultimately...
I think that is true. I think male dysmorphia is becoming more of a apparent thing. And it is, like, I've said this, like, the past, like, I've been thinking about it. I talked to my friend about it. And I've said it every time I've been, like, a streamer for these 6 months. Like, I've always said that this is becoming more and more of a focus. Male dysmorphia, you're seeing, like, look maxing and all of these crazy shit. Men are so more prone to taking drugs, doing different type of actions, using different type of products, and also getting plastic surgery to change their hair, their face, their body, muscle structure in itself. Males are more prone to plastic surgery nowadays than ever before. It's nuts.
Driven by what the mass market wants to see. It looks cool, but as a side effect, there's a growing disconnect between what most men and women find ideal.
Hair is the biggest thing to remember. Everyone is a different individual, and you gotta do what makes you happy. If it makes you happy to take all of these steroids, work out, change your body, if that mentally helps you and you feel happy about that, and that's great for you, that's good. But don't think that this does any good for anyone else, because there's always men and women out there that have their own preferences in every regard.
No helmsman put out a poll to his audience of mostly
like, look at that, bro.
serious lifting men and women, and you can see that the men typically chose more muscular physiques, while the women only preferred muscle up to a certain point.
You can see that women prefer a decently muscular build, but when you get to like bodybuilder level with super high muscle definition, the ratings taper off precipitously.
Another study found that men from 3 different countries believed a body with 30 more pounds of muscle than themselves was ideal, while the pilot study found that actual women preferred an ordinary male body. This is by no means to put you off going to the gym, just to stress it doesn't take TRT to achieve the mainstream ideal physique, and the ideal is subjective, so trying to reach it for the approval of others is a losing game. Yet, you may have noticed that a healthy body has always been respected, and fluctuations away from healthy are never as much about the body as the character traits they signify, whether that's an ability, a more carefree nature, or ambition. This is why I now simply do the sports I enjoy, with more of an emphasis on performance.
Oh, look at that. Nice, man.
Because trends will come and go, but strong values, health, and mastery are timeless.
True. Real.
If you enjoyed this video, I'd love your help. In the description there's a link to a Google form where you can request future videos and give some feedback that'll help me a lot with some future videos I'm working on. If you want to explore the negative consequences of the recent body ideal trends, watch this video next.
Oh my god, maybe we need to watch that one day.
I don't have to go delete my search history.
I think you have to. I don't know, like, I wouldn't mind that. I don't think anybody minds that, but regardless, like, I think in the end of the day, right, that there's so much to focus on, and these kind of things, like, will you yourself forever in your life always call that discipline to eat like this, to work out like this? Do you want to live your life like this 24/7? Because if this is about to do for if you're doing this for somebody else, you need to keep in mind that this is what you got to do for the rest of your life. I don't think that's the life you want to live. You should do these things if it helps you, if you yourself, if this is what you love. Because, like, in the end of the day, what does somebody actively working out show? It shows discipline, shows a routine, it shows action, and it shows a way of formatting your ways to focus more on health. And I think those are the traits people look into if you're trying to impress someone, not the biggest muscles. And honestly, I love big muscles, but like, I cannot count on my fingers at all. Even I haven't barely met any women out there that say they love bodybuilding muscles at all. They probably love someone lean, and that's pretty much it. But tell me down below what you think. Like this video if you enjoy it. Sub to the channel if you watch more react. I might watch that other video sometime. And yeah, come by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/adler, where we yap and react to a lot of things. Hope you guys have a good one. Take care, have a good one, and yeah, peace. Bye. Bye.